Okay, this is a video of how to work each of these problems out step by step on Algebra 1 2014 release test. First thing I want to do is make sure I have what I need. I have my pencil, I have my graphing calculator, and what I want to do is separate my formula chart and my graph paper from the test. So I'm going to tear it off so I don't have to flip back when I need it. Separate that out. So now I'm going to start. I'm going to do 10 problems, and then I'm going to stop the video so it's not too much on one video. Alright, let's look at number 1. Number 1 is A.5C. That is the TEAC, which is in category 1. Algebra is broken up into 5 categories. So if you know that you struggled on category 1 type questions, this is the type of question that it'll ask. Category 1 is functional relationships. Okay, so it says which situation can be represented by y equals 12x minus 4. I'm just going to go through each of my answer choices and see what kind of equation or function I can come up with. This says the number of eggs y in x dozen eggs for sale after 4 dozen. 4 dozen is saying 4 times 12. When I look up here, I'm not doing 4 times 12 at any point. I'm subtracting the 4 and I'm multiplying 12 times something. So this one doesn't look like it matches. So I'm gonna go to the next one. The cost of y of buying X movie tickets that sell for $8 each. $8 each means multiplication. So I know this looks like 8 times X. Once again, 8 is not even part of my equation or function, so this one is not going to work. Let's go to C. The cost of y after a $4 discount. Discount means to subtract. So I'm subtracting $4 of buying X t-shirts that sell for $12 each. I'm multiplying 12 times X, and then I'm subtracting 4. That looks exactly like my problem. Come down here, let's try this one. The number of inches y in an X foot tall tree. Feet. Cutting off 4 feet. This also means to subtract 4. And but because you have to convert inches to feet, that's why this one's not going to work. This is going to be your distractor. Most people who kind of understand this one would pick this one if they don't pick this one. So just make sure you don't do that. So the answer here is C. Alright, number 2. Number 2 is A.2D, and this is category 2. Category 2 is properties and attributes of functions. Everything about functions. Category 1 and 2 is everything about functions and relationships. This is all about a scatter plot. The scatter plot shows the number of free throws that different basketball players attempted and the number that each player made. I can easily see that it's kind of a positive trend going upward. Based on the trend in the data, approximately how many free throws would a player be expected to make if he attempted 60? This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at my X value. Now, anytime you have a scatter plot, you need to draw a line of best fit. I'm going to use what I have. I'm going to use what I tore off as my straight edge if I do not have a ruler. And whenever you do a line of best fit, you want to go like right in the middle of all of these dots. It's going to be right about here. You need to use your line of best fit, not the dots. So I'm going to go to 60, go up, and go over. So it's between 30 and 40 or close to 40. So I'll come down here and look at my answer choices. 50 is too high, 35 is just right actually. Between 30 and 40, 25 is too low, too high, too low, too high. Answer is G. Okay, let's go to number 3. Number 3 is TEK 8.6a, and this is category 3. This says, which table shows the same rate of change? Rate of change is my slope of y with respect to x as y equals 4 minus 5, 8x. So I'm looking for the one that has the same slope. Even though this is not written in the slope intercept form, I can rewrite it. That's negative 5/8 x plus 4. And I can clearly see that my slope is negative 5/8. When I look at all my answer choices, they're all in decimal format. This is where I would use my calculator. First thing I want to do when I get my calculator is clear my memory. Second plus 7, 1, and 2. And I'm going to do 5 divided by 8 to get my decimal. My slope is negative 0.625. So one thing I could do is go through and calculate the slope on all of these, but an easier way to do this would be to take this, go to y equals, and type it in. You can type it in as a fraction or a decimal. I'll show you how. If you have a TI-84, there is a function on here that lets you do fractions, and it's alpha y equals. So I would hit negative, the whole thing is negative, alpha y equals n divided by d. That is my first option. I would hit enter. That gives me my fraction bar. If you're doing a TI-83, you do not have this option. So I would do 5, use my arrows, go to 8, use my over arrow, and hit the X. Then I would just do plus 4. This looks like this. From here, I would just go to the table. Second table. These are all listed as fractions, so I would have to just divide the fractions out to figure out which one's equal to what I see. When I come over here, if I go to negative 3, 47 divided by 8 is not negative 12. The first one does not match. So I know it's not A. If I go to B, if I go to negative 4, 13 divided by 2, I can check to see 13 divided by 2, that's 6.5. So I know that's not it. Go back to my table, go to C. I just checked negative 4. 13 divided by 2 is 6.5. So let's go to positive 2. 11 divided by 4. I can go to home screen, second quit, do 1, 11 divided by 4, and it's 2.75. So that's the same. Before I keep going, just for the sake of time, I already know that this and this is no. So I know it's not D. The only one that fits is C. Number 4. Number 4 is A.1a, category 1.